All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Business Showcase series. Today I'm joined by Gene.
Hey.
Hey, Gene. How are you?
Good.
What's your last name?
Lee.
Lee. Gene Lee.
Yep.
Nice. All right, cool. So tell us, Gene, where are we? What's the location? And what is the store about?
Okay, well, we're basically at Atomic Age. We're a comic book / toy store located at 497 Pape Avenue, just south of the Danforth.
Yep.
And we're basically just kind of like your old local comic book store. You don't really see a lot of those anymore. Like most stores are usually fairly large now. And yeah, we basically just serve the local community. We do have a few people who come from out of town here and there, but mostly it's just people who kind of live in the area.
Okay, cool. So it's you have like is it just comics? Do you have other books? I see a lot of different things here. You got some kind of like collector items.
Yeah, over the years it gets fairly eclectic. But our main, our bread and butter is really just comics.
Okay.
But yeah, people come in, like I said, occasionally we have people come in once a year or just come to find us, and they'll be like, oh, we can't find this anywhere else, right? Part of this because we're just kind of out of the way, admittedly, right? So yeah, there are items that are just gone, and you can't find them anywhere else.
And you have them?
Yeah, we have. Yeah, occasionally. Again, like if people come in, they're just kind of surprised, right?
Gotcha. Do you have a catalog of items that you keep in the store of stock, or is it you kind of have to come in?
No, you kind of have to come in. I'm honestly just not that organized.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more like a variety store almost, and it's just that there's just a bunch of stuff, and it just kind of builds up over the years.
Gotcha. So what sort of advertising have you been doing?
It's mostly word of mouth. We do a little bit of. We have a small Facebook page and a small website, but that's really just more to service our regular customers, and like I said, more of the community-based people.
More to come in, yeah. Do you do things like trade-ins? So if somebody's got like a unique comic, would you trade in for something else?
Trade-ins are tough now because of the online element. Because most people they want that retail price for it. Not understanding when you go into a retail store, they have to resell it.
Yeah.
So with most people, I just try to give them advice. Say, okay, this is really worth about this much, but realistically, you're probably gonna get this if you sell it to a store. If you want to maximize your income, have to sell yourself.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line, right?
Gotcha. I have a friend who's been collecting comics for probably like 25 years. He's got a whole room, a whole library of comics. It's unbelievable. Like
it is.
I know that the people that collect comics, they're like diehard.
Yeah, it's kind of it's one of those hobbies which you really do it for the love of it more than anything else. There are a few people who come in and say, hey, what's hot? And I try to explain to them, like, that's just not the way comics work now, right? You do it for the love of it, not because you want to invest in it.
Yeah.
Because the bottom line is you just never know, and these days everything's promoted as hot, right? So my main advice to most people for comic collection is just collect what you like.
Yeah.
If it goes up in price, great. If it doesn't, you know what? At least you have something you want.
Yeah, exactly. Do you recommend selling it when it gets up there in price? Like, does it ever lose value again?
Yeah, it goes up and down, right? Which is why you collect it more because you want it in your possession, as opposed to you're hoping that you can resell it later on down the road.
Got it. It's not like trading stocks.
No,
no.
no.
You're not just trying to make money with it. You're actually
No.
interested in the stories and the
exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Cool. What got you? Started in this type of business.
It's one of those things where I kind of fell into it. I've had a variety of jobs, but when I was younger, I worked in a comic book store.
Okay.
Kind of learned the business here and there, and basically, I needed something I could do. Like my father was getting kind of older, right? And my nephews used to live just down the street.
Okay.
So I needed something, because we used to live in Scarborough. I needed something where basically he could still visit his grandkids without having to drive, because he's kind of getting to that point. So we just happened to find this store, 15 years ago at least, right?
Yeah.
And basically it was little for sale sign. It wasn't very flashy, and it was terrible. It was like almost like a hoarder situation.
Okay.
But we bought the place because of the location.
Yep.
And yeah, we've been here since,
Nice.
and my dad, he's not with us anymore, but he was able to spend the last few years of his life closer to his grandkids because of this.
Nice.
So, and plus, that just gave me the opportunity to kind of look after them and earn some income as well.
Sure. Yeah, it's like a 2-for-1. Basically, you
Yeah,
got a
pretty
place to
much.
live, you got close to family, you had a business that was operating. So what sort of challenges have you faced with the business? I mean, anything that sticks out in your memory? I mean, obviously COVID just happened.
Yeah.
Was that like a pretty big shock?
Probably we were probably one of the few places that got we're luckier because we're kind of a small local business without a lot of foot traffic. We were able to avoid the worst of COVID. I mean, fortunately, nobody got it. Here.
Nice.
But yeah, the biggest challenges really are, I mean, because we're a smaller business dealing with suppliers and shipping and stuff like that, and now the big challenge now is just the inflation. I mean, like my costs have probably doubled for some items. Like it's insane.
Like for actually like when you're buying these comics?
No, they've only gone up about maybe 20%, but just like energy and just like household items. Like our income hasn't doubled, but like pasta's like double the price now. So I mean, most of our issues are, I think, the same issues most people face.
Yeah.
It's just like the stuff that's really kind of out of your control.
Exactly.
Like the Metrolinks we were kind of talking about earlier off camera, but that's going to be a bit of a challenge for us, I think, because my understanding is they're going to take away parking on both sides.
On Pape?
Yeah, right. From what I understand, like they're not really clear, honestly.
It's hard to do though because there's so many people that rely on that street parking.
Yeah,
so where are they going to park?
Well, again, they're kind of cagey about it. They won't answer you, but like my understanding is my neighbors on this side have had 3 feet of their property expropriated temporarily. So I suspect, and that's just me speculating, that they've done that on both sides so that we'll have parking on one side at least. Okay? But that means like a lot of people are going to lose their yards though.
Exactly.
At least temporarily, which is kind of, they're going to tear it all up. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that remains to be seen. It definitely is a potential risk to your business.
Yeah.
But if you get into the expropriation discussion, usually they're trying to find a middle ground where everybody kind of walks away somewhat happy.
Yeah.
So I mean, we'll see how that works.
Yeah. I mean, I've been discussing it with them, and there's a few options. I guess they've said that we've learned our lesson from what happened to Eglinton. We'll see.
Yeah.
Hope so.
This one is definitely deeper than the Eglinton line.
It is.
So, and between like where we are, where you are, between Danforth Station and Gerrard Station, this is kind of the deepest point.
It is, yeah, and like apparently, like most of the construction, as I understand it, has to do with venting, or I guess every once in a while they need like an emergency access from the tunnel, right? So but we'll see what happens. I mean,
true. So that's kind of been the challenges, but before
that's the most recent one.
That's
the
most recent. Okay.
I mean, the biggest challenges, like I said, is, like I said, the same one everyone has to deal with. Like you get unexpected bills, things like that. In my people with families. I mean, you've got kids, as I understand, so do I. And things just happen. You got to take care of them, right?
Do they work in the store?
No, they're too young for that.
Too young.
Yeah, no, they're 8 and 12. I'm getting in trouble for that. They're 8 and 12. They're actually in Montreal right now. I had to come back just because someone's gonna watch the place, right?
Okay, man.
But yeah, I mean, like I said, the stores really kind of been a blessing. Like I said, I kind of did it for my dad, but later on when my son was born. He was diagnosed with being, mildly on the spectrum, not a lot, just a little bit, but enough so that, occasionally I'd have to close up and go to school, which I would be a lot tougher if I had a job, especially not in the area, So things have kind of worked out, I think,
I mean, that's kind of human nature. You make the things work that you want to work.
Yeah, that's true.
You put the focus on that to say, okay, I'm going to make this work because I need it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's absolutely true. It's it's the hand you're dealt with, right? You just got to do what you can with it, right?
Exactly. Well, it's really good to to have you in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
I think it's a very interesting store. There's lots to see around here. I mean, you have to spend some time to really familiarize yourself with what you have available.
Yeah. No, it's crazy.
Yeah. And obviously, if you're here, you can have that discussion and say, "Hey, look, I'm looking for this specific thing." One last question: where do you get your stock? Like, are you purchasing online and getting it shipped in, or are you buying wholesale from somebody?
We've got about 2 or 3 different suppliers, and we get most of our stuff from there. I mean, occasionally if I find a deal somewhere of something that I think is of value, then I'll bring it in and hang on to it. But that's fairly rare. I mean, sometimes like I'll walk into a store you just randomly, I'll go, oh, that's a really good deal. I'll go, I'll grab them and bring them back here, and I mean, either put them out or sometimes my kids get them. I mean, it's just right. Just kind of the way it works out.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, mostly it's from suppliers.
Okay. Yeah. Cool. One more time. The address is.
Oh, it's 497 Pape Avenue.
497 Pape Avenue. Mm-hmm. Yeah, we're basically between Riverdale and Danforth. Just above Riverdale.
Yeah. I mean, basically, we're 3 bus stops south of Danforth. And yeah, Gerard is just like, stone's throw from, south of here.
Yep. And you said you have a Facebook page?
We do, yeah. It's easy enough to find. I mean, I think if you just look for Atomic Age, it'll show up. Okay. But it's really, I mean, it's just a nice, simple page. We just post our weekly comics. Again, it's more of a community store. So
yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. But it's a space for somebody to come and maybe before they come in, they could have a look and scan through, and then
and send us messages or whatever. Yeah. Cool. Same thing with the website, right?
Phone number is?
Phone number is 416-778-5131.
Okay. And your email is on the Facebook page?
Yeah, but it's contact@atomicagecomics.com.
Awesome. Cool. Gene, thank you very much.
All right.
Yeah, great conversation.
Okay, great.
If you guys are interested, if you'd like to learn more, definitely get in touch with Gene. Come on by, and we'll see you next time.
All right, awesome.